Well, hey everybody, welcome to Club Bistro. Now imagine this: you're out for a night on the town, but nothing is open. The town is empty. It's 11 o'clock p.m. What are you going to do for entertainment? Suddenly, you hear a faint bass on the wind, and your heartbeat starts to rise, starts to match the tempo of this bass, and suddenly you find yourself running towards the sound of that bass. Where do you find yourself? Club Bistro, only the hottest restaurant in this side of Napa. Restaurant Club.
Alright. So, here we have a rough draft and a more complete draft of our logos. The C/B, Club Bistro. We are all about finding your own place in this world. You need to have somewhere to go to be yourself, to blow steam. Taking your power back, America. So these are some of our logos. They're still in development. But yeah, we hope to have something that's visually appealing and would draw people into our restaurant.
So what is our story? Well, we're just two kids from Napa that had a dream of starting a business, and when we were posed the question of what this business would entail, we started talking about it, and we realized that the thing we wanted most in this world at this moment as teenagers, we wanted a place to hang out with all of our friends, because friends are the most important thing in the world right now. And also, food is pretty good, and we like having our taste buds stimulated immensely. So we combined the two, and we decided to have a club where we could entertain ourselves and then also eat delicious food for low price.
Yeah, our restaurant went through many iterations. Initially, it was sort of like a place where you could go during the day. There was going to be some Wi-Fi, some snack food. Then, over time, we decided, would that really appeal to a broad enough market? How are we going to get enough people into our restaurant to pay for the cost and make some profit? So, went from being open basically almost 24/7 to having concise hours. So really, throughout this project, we have really put a lot of effort and research into coming up with the best plan for our business.
Now, who are we? I am Anthony, and this is Ben, and we would like to share with you some of our accomplishments and how we actually are qualified to run this business. Now, my father actually runs a business downtown called the Hall of Gamers, and it's a card and board game shop. And he has definitely brought me into the process of how to start up and how to manage a business, and I feel like I can use that knowledge in order to help us start our business.
Mm-hmm. The thing about the Hall of Gamers is it's a very friendly, open place where you can go and have a place to be during the day, which is in some ways what we want to offer at night. So not only will we have that experience Anthony brings of how to create a warm and welcoming space, I just grew up around people like Judd Finkelstein, Ernie Weir, who own restaurants and wineries. I have those the connections to seek advice. I also know Judd, he is big into public access television, which he uses to promote his winery and his band. So we have low-cost advertising outlets through public access and podcasting, and we could also have connections with business owners who are in the same industry, so that we have advice and whenever we need it. We, as we stated earlier, are addressing the problem of very little nightlife in Napa. So, you're a young, trendy person, it's late, Denny's is basically the only thing's open, but you want to have some fun. You can't really do much. So, we aim to change that. We're looking for, again, young people for the club, anyone for our restaurant, just sort of people who want some quality food with a little different style that Anthony's going to explain right now.
Alright, our solution to this problem is, obviously we're going to create a club and an environment where people of all ages were aiming towards the younger side of these people. People who want to come in and have a good time and enjoy themselves in a public place, and then also have a safe environment to kind of thrive and meet people and have friends come with them. For our restaurant, however, we wanted to make it a very upscale dining experience, but for a family price. So we wanted to appeal to all the people that can't necessarily afford all of the really expensive places downtown, but then could also come here and feel like they were part of that. What is it?
That downtown essence.
Yeah, the higher wages
Yeah.
and such.
And yeah, but well, actually,
Oh, okay.
like one of the big things that drives up prices at those other downtown restaurants is their wide menus, all sorts of exotic ingredients. The ingredients cost a lot of money, so they have to charge a lot for their food. However, if we were to buy those ingredients in bulk, they would be significantly cheaper. However, you'd have to use all those, which is why our restaurant serves only 1 or 2 dishes a night. Basically, you go in there, you pay your $25, and we'll give you an appetizer, an entree, a dessert, and a drink. All of them designed to complement each other and work well on your taste buds. And since we know what we're serving, if our main dish is vegetarian, we'd have one dish. But if we have like a meat dish, we'd have another vegetarian option, just because people have different dietary needs. And so, since we are only serving 1 or 2 dishes a night, our ingredient cost can be reduced by buying larger quantities.
As for the marketing, one thing we wanted to do was focus heavily on word of mouth and social media, because I feel like in this day and age, the younger crowd doesn't really necessarily respond to the here's a flyer, read it, and then they don't gain information from that. When I see a flyer, I place it directly in the recycling bin. I don't even read it, if I'm going to be honest. But on social media, I'm constantly being bombarded with different information, and if we target that outlet with Facebook and Twitter, we're able to spread that to a much wider audience, and then also we'd be targeting the demographic that we want to come into our restaurant.
So, sales, we will be selling again $25 for a full meal, but if you are part of a family, can't afford that kind of money per person, you can get like a basic plan, which would just be like an entree and a drink, and that can cost somewhere around $10 to $12 a head. So, and like if we have a family plan, say $60 for a large appetizer to share and drinks all around, and maybe an appetizer, then it's something that makes a night out affordable for a family of locals. Because we learned from businesses like Copia, which charge exorbitant rates, that if you don't have something for locals, your business is bound to fail. So yeah, we have it would cost a little over $250,000 to start up, which is hefty, but for a restaurant, it's not really that unreasonable. And we would need to be selling over about 12,600 meals in a year to keep up with our expenses. But since we have a large seating capacity, we believe this is more than doable.
In our restaurant, we can seat about 300 people at one time.
Which, once we turn to the club, means we'll have plenty of space for dancing.
As for our competition, we would say that Napkins and City Winery are the closest to what our business could be as for the environment and the menu and such. But in Napkins, if you go there at night, they start their club aspect. They start the music and they let people dance. But it's kind of weird because there's large windows on the side of the wall, and you can look into the people dancing. And on the inside, I imagine it feels very awkward to be watched like that. Now, people our age, of course, they want to be watched at all times, but in their own controlled setting. They want to be on their Twitter. They want to be on their Instagram, taking pictures of themselves.
They want to
post the selfies, exactly. So we feel that we want to create an environment different from napkins so that we don't actually scare away our customers with that kind of awkward feeling, but we would invite them to take pictures and promote it themselves.
Yeah, like we say, hey, tag your selfies, hashtag ClubBistro. And so not only are they being seen, which is something that a lot of our generation wants, we are also getting advertising. So, yeah. Again, we see ourselves being the premier night spot and an affordable fine dining restaurant for Napa. And with a little bit of help from you guys, we believe this is perfectly feasible.
Well,
Good.
thank you for your time.
We'll now
If you
take
have
any
questions.